So look, I have no idea how long I'm going to be able to keep breath in my lungs, but I had to jump on here real quick because number one, I'm still alive. Thank Beyonce. Child. Never, ever, ever, never, 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 never have I been this sick and felt this bad. Let me tell you something. What I'm not going to do ever again, the longest day I live, is skip that RSV vaccination. I was like, RSV, that's for babies. Okay. I haven't RSV? It's a whole mess. You do not want this. Child. Do the pharmaceutical companies need somebody to be a rep for them? Because I'm like, I had like 4 near-death experiences. I was like, all I could hear was Caroline, go into the light. I was like, I'm about to go into the light. Oh my Lord. Why can't I breathe? Okay, look. Me and my handy dandy inhaler are right here. I got myself a nice glass of water. I have some brief notes because there are things I need to talk about in the true crime world. As I was laying here having an NDE, a near-death experience yesterday, you know I was watching true crime, right? Did y'all see, what was his name? DeObra Reddin. That's that dude who jumped the judge. First of all, I finally got a look, like a long view of the bench that this dude jumped over. It wasn't that high. It was like this much higher than a regular desk. So while his like little Superman flying leap was impressive, I thought he was jumping like 12 feet into the air. Nah, he jumped like 4 feet into the air. Every judge in Clark County better be like, y'all Mama Luke's better get this whole situation regulated because I'm not going back to work. Meanwhile, Judge Mary Kay, the judge who got attacked, child, she was back up there in the courtroom yesterday. Hang on for a second. I need a blow in my nose break. Hang on. I don't even know how long I'm going to be able to stay on here. But I had thoughts and feelings that needed to be expressed. I don't even have my gossip mug. This is my cousin's mug. See, look at my very cute cousins. Ooh, there's me. I have some very cute cousins. Anyway, the judge was like, I'm handing over my notes from the day of the attack as part of the evidence in this trial. I'm giving you exactly the same sentence that I had planned to give you, and that is however many months in jail, right? They brought this Mama Luke into the courtroom like he was Hannibal Lecter, the chief judge of Clark County. Dogs, do not start with me. Not today, Lord, not today. Daisy, no. Had to put some bass in my voice. What was I saying? The chief justice was like, she's going to give the same sentence, but what we're not going to do is we are never going to underestimate this Mama Luke again. Never. So he rolled up in there. They had him shackled, chained. He had a bright red pool noodle on each hand. He had a spit mask on. He probably had a shock collar on. He was locked down all the way. I barely recognized the fool. His ankles were chained. I had never seen anybody's hands covered like that before. I had seen the spit mask with that crazy behind Taylor Shabusiness, and they had 10 marshals. They had dudes on either side of him, front, back, somebody beside the judge, somebody standing in the hallway, somebody covering the audience, and this dude waddles in because you know he could barely walk. And then he looked at his lawyer, and he's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How's your mom and them? How you doing? How you doing?" I was like, he seemed awful chipper for somebody who, clearly his brain is not, okay. So she gets up there, she says what she has to say. It's a real quick hearing. Meanwhile, listen, he traveled like a president would travel. All very, very Hannibal Lecter, like a ton of security. She gave him the sentence, and then he turned around and waddled right back on out, and all the marshals was like, some of them was looking awful sexy. Anyway, they took him away. Then his family gave a press conference. I don't know how many people saw this press conference from his family. It was truly something to behold. Mr. Reddin's sister and his foster mother spoke. And like I suspected, Mr. Reddin, his mom and them, both of his parents, narcotics enthusiasts. In fact, this man has had organic mental illness from the day he was born. He was born addicted to crack, as a surprise to absolutely no one. He's been in foster care since pretty much the time he was born, and he has schizophrenia, bipolar, and a bunch of other stuff, plus he was using drugs. Okay, so he not right in the head. And not like, oh, he not right in the head like the way your second cousin's baby's mom is not right in the head. He's like legitimately, organically not right in the head. Okay, cool. Here's the thing though. The family was like, well, what the judge said triggered him. They were like, he was trying to do the right thing and she triggered him, because when she said she was, having looked at his record, she needed to try something different and she needed to give him a taste of something different. The word taste triggered him. What now? Who knew? The sister was like, overall, he's a good person, but the word taste triggered his fight or flight response, and so he had to attack who wouldn't leap small judges' benches in a single bound and try and gavel a woman to death because she said the word taste. I mean, everybody knows he has mental illness, ma'am. We not grading on a curve. When you got mental illness, okay, cool. That's great. We still gonna need you to be out here in society. The family was like, oh, she should let him free so he could go get his good job, because so somebody on his good job says the word taste and he unalives them. What are we doing? What are we talking about, lady? I'm gonna need you to explain to me, because I, for one, did not understand it. Us over here at Gossip World headquarters, child, we was like, say what now? She said what? The sister was like, it's not really his fault. I mean, I think it's very unfair that now he has all these other charges. Ma'am, you know what's not fair? The fact that your brother has, bless him with his mental illness and his crack addicted mama and whatever, but you got to be able to live in society. And if you can't live here in society, then you need to go not be in society no more. She was just like, I don't think they should send him to prison. He's not going to get any help. How is he supposed to get help? That sounds like a him problem. That's real sad. But like, because the rest of us, we would like to not be hit in the head with a gavel. We would like to not be hit in the head for saying the wrong word. The unmitigated gall of this man's family. Listen, I understand that you love your brother. She's like, well, his brain doesn't operate like yours and mine. So everybody has to, whatever, like, listen, there's a saying, you can carpet the whole world or you can put on slippers. We can't go around carpeting the whole world for this man. That brother needed to put on some slippers to make himself comfortable. If that means take your psychotropic drugs, okay, fine. Go on, take your medicine or whatever. This is not, this can't be the rest of the world's problem. That's his problem. And you know what he's going to get? Some nice padded slippers and a padded cell over there at the prison. Child, I don't want him out on these streets with me and you. Nope. You said a word that start with T. He thought he heard the word taste. And now here you are underneath the wheels of his Teamster truck. Nope. We not doing that. In other audacity news, phone calls from prison. Shout out to Shay over there. Phone calls from prison. Child, they are doing the Lord's work. Mr. Nesto has a new call out. You know Nesto, Shirley Strawberry's husband. By way of background, briefly, because you know I don't have that much breath in my lungs, although for right now I seem to be doing fine. Let me not curse it. Hang on, let me take a sip of water. Oh, my cousins are cute. Look at us. These girls are adorable. Look, it says, my cousins are better than your cousins. And they are. Anyway, Nesto is the husband of Shirley Strawberry. Miss Strawberry is a co-host on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Nesto been locked up in prison, in county jail for like a year and change now, for doing all kinds of petty theft and whatever. And Shirley, who was very classy, keeps her pinkies out. She's a very private lady. She's just like, yeah, I've had enough. You know that song, When a Woman's Fed Up, Ain't Nothing You Can Do About It? All these phone calls, all the phone calls we heard between Shirley and Nesto, she's talking about the Lord and giving him Bible verses and encouraging him. And what is he doing? Spending all his time embarrassing her. All of his time embarrassing her. Oh, he on the news. He's doing this. He's doing that. Miss Shirley is known for having common sense. Now, God and all the world can see her private life is a hot ass mess. And he's just like, well, I mean, I am your husband. Excuse me? Oh, vows mean something to you now? He was like, I just need to know, as your husband, blah, 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 blah. Sir, you have spent the last 9 years of that marriage out here dick dashing. You know what I mean? Somebody just call up your phone number, you roll up at their house and you make a delivery of your situation down there. But she's supposed to honor them vows. She's supposed to stand by you even though you have humiliated her, nearly cost her her job. She cost her the respect of the community. Say what now? He's going to give her an ultimatum. You going to call me from prison and try to fix your mouth to give me an ultimate, sir, what you're not going to do is that. Not even a little bit. The fact that she spoke to him, strongly worded though it wasn't even that strongly worded. With her pinkies out, with her class fully intact, she dismissed this fool the way she should have, probably the day after she married him. The first time he got locked up, I would have been like, so listen, what we're not going to do is none of this, all this running down to jail or whatever. And he's like, nah. What you need to tell me is if I'm going to have a place to come home to. What? She's like, I do not know. I have not made a decision yet. And he was like, well, you have to the end of the week, please. How she didn't call him an MF, I will never know. Because those are the only words in my lips. I would not have said one more word that did not begin with the letters M and then the letter F. I would have called that boy everything but a child of God. I would have talked about his mama, his daddy, all his friends, everybody who ever met him, his 12 previous wives, his current children, his future children, all the little children that he had that slid down them other ladies' throats. Child? I was heated. I had to take a hit of albuterol to hear the rest of that call because that son of a sucker, what? You just out here in these streets from prison on a prison phone call, you gonna give your wife an ultimatum? Oh no, you are not. Miss Shirley Strawberry, is she slow? Yes. Is she more patient than I ever would have been? 1,000 times more patient than I ever would have been. Ooh, child. She got my pressure up. That boy got my pressure up, all the way up. Everybody is sick of this fool. Oh, he's shucking and jiving and grinning and running game. Oh, you running game? I got a game for you, you son of a... Hang on. I told y'all I was gonna have to be fully hydrated because this Nesto, oh, he made me so mad. I was listening to that phone call last night, clutching all of my pearls. Ooh, the cuss words I was saying in my head. If I would have had enough breath in my lungs, I would have cussed out loud. But in my head, I was like, I know this. You know how like on the cartoons back in the day when I was a kid, they would just put like a bunch of random symbols for curse words. Child, every word in my head was just like a whole string of random symbols. This son of a sucker is going to fix his mouth to give Miss Shirley Strawberry an ultimatum about whether she was going to stay married, when she was going to communicate with him. And when you tell me, don't tell me through a third party. Why don't you find your husband and tell me directly? I tell you what, sir, why don't you just take this answer now? It's a no. I don't want you. I never wanted you. Your situation was small small. You never really could get me off. Oh, I would have told him about every single thing. Your feet stink. Your breath stink. Your mama is ugly. Your children have no respect. You spend all your time going to child. No. Mr. Nesto done ripped his ass when the way he talked to Miss Shirley, thought he was doing something, child, thought he was getting some upper hand. And Miss Shirley stayed smooth and easy as she ever could. I was like, oh, you could tell she a Christian or religious or calmer than me. I do not even aspire to that level of calm, because when I get mad, I don't want there to be any question in your mind that I think you a lying sack of sugar. Like, I don't want there to be I don't want you to be like, her tone stayed so calm. Maybe she didn't mean to cuss me out. I want you to be like, oh, there's no doubt in my mind that this heifer is all the way through with me. And why she have to talk about my mama like that? Why she got to talk about my daddy like that? Both my parents been dead. Let me tell you something. I would cuss out your dead parents. I would cuss out your dead grandpa. I would cuss out all your ancestors, everybody you ever met, everything you ever laid your hand on, everything. I might even cuss myself out for having had dealt with you for so long, for giving you the level of patience and grace that I had offered. This dude is clearly illiterate. She gave him a scripture of Psalms, whatever. He's like, let me write that down. And then she had to remind him that Psalms started with a P. He's an idiot. He's an illiterate, dumbass idiot. And she tolerated it. And she was kind. And she was patient. She never called him a mother sucker. Let me tell you something. Shirley Strawberry is a better woman than me. The only thing, it would have taken Jesus and the law to get me off of his ass. Not none of our substitute deities, not Beyonce, not Leslie Jordan, actual Jesus. All of the Golden Girls, Tina Turner, Liza Minnelli, and all of the angels, including actual Jesus and possibly God, if he could spare a moment, to get me off of his ass. I would have never gotten off of that ass if I had received that phone call. Child, they would have had to dress me up like DeObra Reddin. They would have had to put some pool noodles on my hand, a spit mask, shackles, a whole bunch of sexy guards around me. I would have gone to prison, possibly in a kitten heel, looking all mild-mannered and harmless. And I would like to see my husband, please. And then I would slip off my kitten heel and use it to bludgeon him to death. To death. And if there was one woman on that jury, they never would have convicted me. What happened, ma'am? Why did I unalive this Mama Luke right here on the floor in the jail? Exhibit number 1, play that phone call. That's all I'm gonna need you to do. Just play that phone call back, and you're going to understand what happened here. And then I'm going to be like, clink, break free of my restraints, and sashay myself back on home. Because that's going to free up a whole lot of money. All that money she was paying for lawyers and all that other stuff, all his other foolishness. Nope. Then I would have sold the rights to the story to Lifetime. Possibly bought the Lifetime network. That boy got my pressure up. Look, I have to check and make sure that I'm still okay. Listen. Okay, hang on. Let me see. What is my oxygen saturation? Okay. I'm saying, look, you see how high my pulse is? 126. Listen. I'm sick. I told you I was sick. This was going to be a members only video. I might make it public because I'm going to need to take a nap before I could do a separate video. I don't have it in me to do 2 videos this morning, child. This RSV is over here trying to unalive my behind. But sometimes the spirit of the gossip rises up in you and you just have to stand up and speak. I just have to stand up and speak because So, I hope all of you stay healthy and well. If you have a moment, like this video, subscribe to the channel, get yourself a RSV vaccination. Otherwise, you might be going into the light like I almost was last night. From the bottom of my heart, as I laid on my family room floor, gasping for breath with the albuterol and the warm air face steamer and everything else. I turned my head, tears streaming down my face. I turned one way and all I could see was a bright light, and I was like, clearly that is where I need to go. Turns out it was not me dying. It was my husband's reading lamp that I forgot was on, but when I turned my head, it was aimed directly in my face. I was trying to go into the light, y'all. I was trying to go into the light because this mess about took me out. But by the grace of Betty White, I'm still here. So I'm going to keep pushing through. I hope y'all have a beautiful, peaceful morning. I'm going to go see if I can't get my pressure back down. Let me see if my heart rate has come back down. My oxygen saturation is very good. Okay, I'm back down to 98. I was up to 125. I'm just sitting here quietly in a chair. I can't be getting myself riled up like this. Have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.